Hello, welcome to M3 Live. My name is Malcolm Travers. Male Media Mind is a grassroots organization dedicated to uplifting and unifying our community through dialogue, insight, creativity, and knowledge. And every Monday at noon, I have lunch with Devon, and we talk about some of the upcoming topics, maybe do a little rewind on the Blur Council and, talk about current events. How are you doing, Devon?
I am doing good. I feel good. So hey,
Yeah.
I have no complaints today.
I was gonna say, like right now, as we speak, Trump is probably taking the oath of office. I'm not
Oh,
watching any of that shit, but
me either. I don't
on
care.
January 20th, which it is
hmm
at
Yeah.
noon, the new president is sworn in.
hmm
I've seen some memes about Michelle Obama not going.
Right.
I think they just showed a picture of her doing like this sort of Mona Lisa smile and said, "This is the
hmm
picture I'm sending to people now." When they asked me if I'm coming, if I'm coming to their party, I was sending this little picture of Michelle,
Right. Right.
the official. I'm not coming to your party.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, no, I'm not coming. No.
I'm not giving any reasons either. Like I don't need to.
Right.
I said, "Why are you coming?" I don't need to give a reason why
Exactly.
I'm not coming. But yeah, I think I can kind of understand it. I don't know if she actually did have something else that was happening because she didn't go to Jimmy Carter's funeral either. So like it could be something else. But
Yeah.
typically when she shows up, there's at least a good subplot about what she's wearing.
Mm,
So
there is.
um, yeah. Now there was one where she was fire. Like I have to admit, during the Biden inauguration.
Oh yeah.
She had, but that's kind of what happens though. And so I can kind of see where you don't want to lend your presence to that. But then we were kind of talking a little bit about this beforehand. There are a
Mm-hmm.
few black celebrities which people are very upset about performing at the
Yeah.
inaugural balls. I know Nelly was the one that his statement was the most egregious,
I
but I
was.
think
You know
Snoop
what?
Dogg and who else was it? I can't
It was
remember.
it was Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soldier
Rick
Boy,
Ross. Yeah, Soldier Boy.
and
Yeah.
but Soldier Boy was a odd one to ask to come um perform. I honestly would have thought 60 would have got 60 Red to do it because since she's the one that did publicly say that she's okay with Trump, she's cool with Trump because
Yeah.
he gave us a check. And I'm surprised people aren't giving her the same energy that they're giving Snoop Dogg and all of them. When she said, I mean, she said, of course, she said it months ago, and this is
Right.
back for all this, but still, I was just like, so y'all not gonna cancel Sissy Red, but y'all want to cancel these rappers that have been in the game longer than her and have better music than her, but y'all don't want to give her that same energy that y'all gave Chris at Michelle. But Sissy
Oh,
Red came
yeah.
out and said she's okay with Trump. She'll, and all that because he gave us a check.
I
See,
think I think it depends on your relationship to them before.
yeah.
Um, it's funny. I was reading this book not too long ago called Monsters, talking about our relationship to truly egregious um people who
hmm
are creative. The one that comes to mind most readily available is Roman Polanski.
mm,
Um, so Roman Polanski, for film nerds, is probably one of the most celebrated directors, what they would call auteurs, who just went down the barrel. So he's most famous for Rosemary's Baby and
hmm
Chinatown, like both of which are like literal like things you study in film school, and they still study them because they're just that good. Like the
Right.
movies are classics, and what he did was egregious and was documented. He raped a 13-year-old girl, I
Oof.
believe, at a party that uh, Jack Nicholson was holding. It was
Yeah.
like at his house,
hmm
and you know, he just fled the country.
hmm
Like he knew what he did. He was going to jail for it,
Yeah.
and a lot of people just still have difficulty studying his work because it is like you know, um, the, like if you've ever seen a thriller or a mystery or an action movie, they probably have studied Roman Polanski at some point, and so cannot get away from it. Like he's a part of American cinema, and it's just
Yeah,
now I don't
he's
know how
so.
so I'm going to go back to the inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
It is much more difficult to hold someone accountable when they have so much more, influence in the culture. You
Yeah.
know, I don't even know who Sexy Red is. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not one.
Oh, honestly, if we could not know who she is, I wouldn't want us to know who she is. And
Right.
I know people gonna look at me like, well, that's she's a black woman. How you sound with her? No, I don't. I'm not being misogynistic at all. I
Yeah.
just feel like every time, and it's the same thing with the City Girls when they first came out. Every time I hear their music, I just feel like my IQ level just goes down a little bit
Yeah.
more because her,
I'm just saying, like, I guess in my case,
yeah,
it might just be a generational thing, and I don't
right.
watch as much popular culture as I
Hmm.
probably should. Someone my age should probably be familiar with Sexy Red, but I
Right.
definitely am familiar with Rick Ross,
Right, yeah.
Nelly and Snoop
Snoop
Dogg.
Dogg, yeah, because
Right.
we grew up with them, we
Yeah,
grew up listening to them. But
exactly. Snoop Dogg was
my
like,
yeah, well, he is a
yeah,
hip hop pioneer, honest.
yeah, he is.
And just like when we talked about Bo DeMaio
Mhm.
on the Blurred cast at one time, we were like, well, did he and other people too, not just Bo DeMaio, but he was the subject of the matter at the time. And we were
Yeah,
like, yeah, can people be two things at once? Absolutely. Can a person be a piece of shit? Yes. But can they
yeah,
also write or make a good piece of art? Yeah.
yeah,
Two things can be true at the same time. you know?
yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing is, what does it say about us if we can't, or if we do, or we can't listen to it? I think that's the thing.
Hmm.
When, for instance, on my walks, I have a music playlist, and I find it difficult to jam out to some of Kanye West music. Like, it's just not as enjoyable as it once was.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I have like I don't respect the artistry of it. It's just like the jokes just don't hit, like they used
Right.
to,
Right.
like I used
Right.
to find this music funny and kind of witty,
Hmm.
and now it's just like, eh,
Yeah. It's the same thing with who was it? It's the same thing when people say they listen to R. Kelly,
yeah,
or I
yeah.
understand
Age
that
is
R.
nothing but a
Kelly,
number. Does not hit the same. It just doesn't, right?
and you know what? It's funny how that's an Aaliyah song, but he wrote it.
Yeah, no, he was a producer on that track.
Right,
Yeah,
like, oh boy, that did
it
not
does
age
not
well.
hit.
They just didn't age well. Like the whole Snoop
No,
Dogg talking about which one of you jigaboos go perform for Trump, and he called all these black dudes jigaboos and sellouts, and then turn around and look at him. I was just like, that didn't age well either.
right.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I think that's normal though, and I think it's something that we as audience members have to deal with, especially if we're fans. I think someone said there's a difference between an audience member and a fan in the sense that an audience member understands that this was made for them,
Hmm.
whereas I think a fan feels like it was made for them personally. Like
Yeah.
they take it personal and it hurts
Yeah.
in a personal kind of way.
It's the same thing with when Beyonce had the Beyonce Bowl, and
Hmm.
we had people on both sides saying that they liked it, and
Hmm.
people who didn't like it, or people who didn't like her, and people wanted. A thought came to me was like, maybe y'all feel the way y'all do. I get that y'all are passionate about your favorite artist. I get it. I am too.
Yeah,
Okay, but I also know how to control my own passion. But my point is, I think when you insult or talk about their favorites, they feel insulted too.
yeah, yeah. That was surprising to me when it came out. Because I wasn't really much of a Beyonce fan
Mm,
before Beyonce the album hit,
mm,
and I was really enthralled with the music video, right?
mm.
Like I was straight up like, oh my god, I watched it like 30 times. I'm not gonna lie, like I did.
I mean,
And
look,
I
and
remember
mhm.
trying to tell someone about it, and he's like, I can't do Beyonce. Like the fans are too much, and I was like, what? He's
Yeah,
like,
the fans really turn you off from an
yeah,
artist. They can turn you off from an artist because of the way they carry on, and it's not even it's not the artist's fault. True, but
yeah,
the fans can really make you be like, just really turned off from
Yeah.
their work.
Yeah, because I mean,
And
to be honest, prior to that, I was somewhat annoyed with Beyonce songs because they were played so much.
yeah, me too.
That doesn't mean that she was the only one. I admit there were other ones like another example was a Mary J. Blige, like I
Mhm,
can't remember which album that they just played that Love to Love You Baby or something over and over again. They did the same thing to Mariah Carey as well for
mhm,
me. So it wasn't just Beyonce, but she had gotten this sort of on repeat treatment, especially when Single Ladies was out. Like it's just like, why are
mhm,
y'all playing this so much? I just can't get it. But anyway, but I thought Beyonce, the album was different. It was something I hadn't seen. Um,
yeah,
and I wanted to share it with my friends,
mhm,
but they were just like, I can't. And that was my introduction to toxic fandom when I was
yeah,
accused of being a toxic fan because I just happened to like this. And I was like, okay,
okay, right,
I'm
and
sorry that they did that to you.
right,
I'm sorry they I'm
you
sorry they
know,
ruined this for you, but yeah. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and I know I'm one of the people that I give Beyonce fans a hard time, and people are like, "You're a hater." I'm like, "No, I actually am not a hater like that. I'm not a hater
Mm,
hater. I don't go out of my way to say anything like egregiously negative about Beyonce, like some people do. I do what is kind of like poking fun at the fans a little bit,
yeah.
but a lot actually because they are annoying.
I'd like
But
actually making fun of some of them because I remember
uh,
seeing this this meme of
mhm,
like Beyonce Bowl, and this woman, it was like it's Thanksgiving, but you just waiting a whole month for Beyonce to come on air.
mhm, right,
It was like sitting next to the TV wearing your cowboy hat and all
mhm,
your Beyonce stuff. Like, come on, I'm waiting.
right. But yeah, but I actually like quite a few of her songs.
Yeah.
But I stopped being on the Beyonce wagon after B-Day, because after that for me it was just like I I don't really
You see,
like
like
her.
I
Like,
wasn't even on the wagon back then, like I
yeah,
was
I
not
was
even.
not well, I would say I was I just caught a ride every now and then. I didn't
Yeah.
jump on. I just caught a ride. I mean, if I'm being
Right.
metaphorical, you know.
Yeah.
But
Like I like Irreplaceable. That was cool.
yeah, but after B-Day and a couple of songs from I just was like, I
Yeah, I
don't
wasn't feeling any
really
of that.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
wasn't the same. It's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." Hmm,
There was like Destiny's Child, and then there was like a huge, blank space till Beyonce came
yeah,
out.
yeah, 'cause I mean, 'cause
I didn't really feel.
and
I
honestly,
love Destiny's Child back in the day, though.
right,
I
I
did.
will bump a Destiny's Child album, like, all the
Like,
whole
yeah.
thing without skipping a song, like
Back in the day, though,
mhm,
that was the shit. It was.
yes. The harmonies and
Mhm.
especially when it came down to, Destiny Fulfilled, yes.
Mhm. That album
Was
was fire.
that album was fire, like, that was the
It
best
was.
one right there.
No skips. Yes.
No.
I
Mhm.
do remember.
Hello,
That was
we have a comment from our favorite
okay.
chaotic person, Sammy.
Hey.
He knows a beehive is symbol. Really?
Well, I get it. I do. I sort of get it. I've
Mhm.
not been on the on the ire end of a beehive slash, Apple Hive slash Nintendo Hive. I would say
Right, right. All
there
these
been
hives and everything, and I'm just like,
the hives,
right, or the fandoms.
the fandoms. Yeah.
yeah, because they are all. I mean, a lot of fandoms are toxic, and
Yeah.
and I'm saying like, there's no reason for all these fandoms to be toxic. There's no reason for all these Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj fans or this versus
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like, there is room for everybody in this apparently, because if it wasn't, everybody wouldn't be doing it, or that we wouldn't have
Yeah.
the fans that are out there. I mean, there's room for everybody, but why do we always got to compare like, oh, this, that, and third? I mean, is anything or anybody perfect at what they do or anything that's out there?
Right.
No, no, it's not.
Right.
That's
Yeah, I
just
think I think it's a way of getting attention. It's a way of finding community. I think you
mhm,
do find out who your allies are easier if you have an
yeah,
enemy, So like I think people look for enemies
yeah.
in that regard, and I don't think it's necessary. So I know for instance, I threw Nintendo in there because I remember people have treated Nintendo very much in the way that people treat Apple, in the sense that people will say, you know, when Nintendo comes out with a new product like the Switch 2,
Yeah.
y'all don't even give a shit about nothing about its specs or nothing about how many games will be on it or whatever. Y'all gonna buy it. Y'all
Yeah.
gonna buy it. Y'all ain't gonna y'all not gonna criticize it at all.
Right. It's the same thing with the PS5 or Xbox One. I don't understand. I mean, because
I don't think so.
no.
I
But
don't think so.
what I mean is there are some people out there who have bought the first wave of PS5s, and I know one
Well,
person
yeah, yeah. I'm one of those people.
yeah,
I am.
on my friends list who was like, I got my PS5 already, this, that, and the third, and I had no interest with it. And then
But I'm
so,
saying it is in the same way that,
mhm,
if I was going to put the Apple Samsung debate, PS5 is clearly Samsung, right?
yes,
Because there is a clear winner in the video game race, and it's Nintendo. Nintendo came out with one system 7 years ago, and it's still the top selling system. Like, they don't have to do updates. The OLED, I guess, was somewhat of an update, but
mhm,
this really just the original Switch is still selling. They don't even really need to come out with a Switch 2, and they don't need to, because they have such a loyal fan base. And I don't think Nintendo fans are that toxic, but I would say the hate towards Nintendo, when people who don't like Nintendo, the hate is real. I don't know about the hate towards Sony,
mhm,
but the hate towards Nintendo is real.
yeah,
And it's because of their success. And I would say it's very similar to Apple and Beyonce. It is really kind of the same thing, that they don't understand why they're so successful. They're like, they don't necessarily hate it. They're just saying, like, it's so mid. It's so, like, why do people like it? And then they're kind of mad that people like something that they don't necessarily hate. But then they hate the fact that people like it, which is a whole other thing. And let them hate. It's okay. I just tune them out. Anyhow, I have to talk a little bit about Castlevania.
okay.
I watched season 2, and I was surprised to hear some people haven't seen any of it. I was talking to a couple of friends and in the group chat. I said, y'all have not seen Castlevania, not a single episode. And I'm not a anime person. Like, maybe I watched like Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho back in the day, maybe a little Dragon Ball. I don't
Right.
even know which one. So it tells you. I watched maybe the recaps. I didn't really watch the show,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is a dark fantasy. I don't know how to put it. It's based on a video game, but one of the things I really enjoy about it, I was going to just show a couple pictures. These characters, like, this is from season 1.
Yeah. That's
Isaac,
yeah.
is it? And I can't remember her name. Annette from season 2.
Mhm.
Really genuinely robust Black characters in the show. Like, they have really good backgrounds, very interesting power sets, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
that are rooted in sort of ancestral magic and deities and all of that. And, like, to me, that is one of the things that sets it apart from other anime, because anime has a history of being racist. I'm just gonna say, like, at least in the older animes that I used to watch, like, Black characters did not get a very good showing. And then I think Black fans of anime will turn, like, darker shaded characters into Black characters. Like, they might be green or purple or orange. It's like, he's a black, even though the Black people are super stereotypical. Like there are black people in these anime, and they are like fucking, you know, like really stereotypical, like babbies and law jockeys and shit, and like,
Yeah.
God. But this is completely different, right? It has a very, it holds up some of like your more classical, Christian mythologies alongside, indigenous African and magical traditions, right? And I'm not very, steeped in sort of the action, of anime and what sort of tropes that it's using from anime, but it's clearly pulling from that tradition. And I would say I'm trying not to spoil anything, by the way. So
yeah,
I could just say it's enjoyable. Yeah, beyond enjoyable. Let's just say they do a good job of pacing the show. So where you can get into like the emotions of the characters or whatever, so that when they do pull off their moves or whatever, it's the payoff is there.
yeah.
It's like edging and then nerdgasm. Like, oh god, it's so good.
Yeah. Especially the fight scenes. The fight scenes were like, okay, we see you budget.
I know, right?
Budget. They said,
oh god. It's like, oh my god, it's so big. It's so big. Oh god. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
Oh god, it's so good.
But the fight scenes were amazing, though. We even used some of the clips you sent me yesterday. Well, you sent them on Telegram.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used those in the show yesterday. Well, I did. I was like, look at the fight scenes. And then there was one like I couldn't show one of them full because it's like Corey and James had not seen the last episode. So
that was from the last episode.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. They were like looking at me like, we just told you we didn't see that. I'm sorry.
I think as you were filming, I was watching that episode. Like I was in the middle of watching it while you were filming, so I get it. I knew it was from the final episode, but they didn't show any like details.
Right. I was
like
it was just a fight scene. I said, here are a couple of fight scenes, and then they were like, oh, that looks very final boss-ish of a fight scene. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
It was. But yeah, I mean, there was a little more fighting after that. And that one I had to delete it. I put it on Telegram by accident. But I found most of those on Twitter, and I was happy to, have this distraction around the time of the inauguration and all that.
Oh yeah.
Like it was perfect timing. I guess they also announced I'm sure you've heard, but I saw it on Twitter that was it Invincible's coming back next month.
Yeah.
They're having a premiere
happening next month.
Yeah.
We got Invincible, we got Captain America New World Order.
Oh yeah.
And also for us gamers, Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out on the same day as Captain America.
Oh geez. I've heard a lot about Shadows too,
yeah. So it's a lot packed into a lot.
Yeah. I think people are gonna need that. They're gonna need some distractions because there's gonna be a lot of look,
I'm telling you now, a lot of legal weed shops and y'all about to get busy because if y'all have vapes and all these other things, people gonna need to they're gonna need recreational drugs. Well, not recreational. They're going to
I hear you.
Their coping mechanisms. There we go.
I know. I've been trying not to. I've been actually going dry for a while. I don't know if I try not to like put it out there, but I've been a regular smoker since I was 15. And I ended up quitting sometime last year. And I just recently have been wanting to go back, but I realized like I actually do a lot better with a clear mind. Because I mean it's a good distraction or whatever, but like if you're just high all the time, life is harder than it has to be. Honestly, like there are small things that you want to do that are just like kind of more difficult. And so I do find facing reality in a way that is suitable to be a better strategy, although very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Actually might bring me into my first topic that I want to do. I was reading a few books on love, relationships, identity, and things like that. And one of the people who has suggested some books to me, this guy's on TikTok called Tell the Bees, was suggesting a book. I haven't read this one, but I've read one of the others that he suggested, which is just about taking responsibility for your own experience, not for other people's bullshit, but taking responsibility for how you stand in it. You know, there's this old adage slash, I don't know what you call them, cliche, where it says, that which you tolerate, or that which you, how does it go? I guess what you initially tolerate, you later invite, I guess is the way to put it. Is that like you can't, if you tolerate some fuckery in your life long enough, at some point it becomes your responsibility for it being there. Now, obviously, the other person has agency and they can do what they want to do, but yeah, I'm just going to play this and we'll talk about it a little bit.
You are not a better person than anyone else because you suffer. You are not a better person than anyone else because you're in love with your own suffering. You are not a better person than anyone else because you're anxiously attached. And you are not a better person than anyone else because you want to be in a relationship. I see posts like this all the time of people who are like very invested in the self-mythology that they create for themselves, where they like valorize their own suffering and their own victimhood, right? Like, I'm so nice and I'm so kind. Why don't I have what they have? And when I talk about dating, and I wrote about this on Substack last February on Valentine's Day, I said, the anxiously attached have won the internet. On this app especially, there are millions of posts of people saying, why won't they change for me? Why don't they want to be with me? I love this person. Why isn't me wanting them or like sleeping with them for 10 years enough? And it's like, if they do not want you, it doesn't matter. And I'm sorry to be that person again and again that says, if you build an altar to your suffering, it doesn't mean anything, right? I literally grew up Catholic. Everyone in my family is a martyr. I get it. I know so many people who are obsessed with this idea of themselves as like a perfect angel and like a suffering victim, and they don't understand why life doesn't work out for them. And it's like, you are the reason that it's not working out for you because you're not doing anything. You're sitting there suffering. I'm reading It Begins With You by Jillian Turecki, which is basically saying the exact same thing I just said, but in like a much nicer way. You might recognize her name. She has 3 million followers on Instagram. She is like a genius. My friend sent me this book because she knew that I agreed with Ms. Turecki, and Jillian is right. A lot of the things that a lot of us are doing, and like I said, if you've watched any of my dating content before, you know that I said I spent my whole 20s dating guys who hated me. So I have been where you are, right? Some of the most powerful chapters of this are, it begins with you. You need to be your best self. You cannot convince someone to love you, right? If you were in a situationship for 10 years, unfortunately, that is your fault. You are not a better person because you're begging someone to be with you, and like hooking up with them, waiting for them to decide to want you is miserable. I'm not someone who reads self-help. I'm not trying to sell you anything. The reason that I like this book is because it has practical tools and advice on how to stop feeling sorry for yourself, right? The thing that holds a lot of people, a lot of us back, is that we keep ourselves locked in these narratives and these ideas of who we are. It Begins With You is not just the title, right? Like I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of you say, well, I'm anxiously attached, and you like lean on that for the rest of your life instead of like working to change it or working to date people who like you and want to be with you. You're like waiting for someone to choose you because you're trying to recreate that parent thing. And it's like, I get it. I've been in therapy for 6 years. I get it. But like at some point you have to release and you have to like do something to change the behavior, right? To that girl in the first post who was like, oh, why are all my bullies married? And it's like, they don't think of themselves as losers. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. And I think that's what the main issue is, right? It sucks to hear that sometimes you are the problem, but sometimes you are the problem. And I'm not saying that from a place of like, I'm better than you, right? Like I said, I've been plagued by self-doubt. I spent my entire 20s dating men who did not like me. I have been where you are. I've been in therapy for 6 years. I stand with you. But I also now in my 30s will not be in a situationship for 10 years. And I will not wait around begging for somebody to want me. And I also do not believe that I'm better than other people just because I want to be in a relationship and they do not. You guys have to stop this like weird moralizing judgment of people who are avoidant, and especially people who do not want to date you. But this is my final dating advice video. Read the book. There's really, really, really good advice in it.
So yeah, I like the idea of what you're saying. You know, you cannot build an altar to your suffering and expect to be a better person because of it. You know, you can't be like, I have gone through this, I have done that. You know, all these people have done these things to me, and you may get other people who come to your altar and say, yes, I've been there too. I hate this. You know, I think the internet gives you the illusion that, you know, talking about your struggles is somehow, you know, going to help you overcome them. I say this in a general way. He was talking about it in dating, but I just think about in struggles in general. Like, he talked about the idea of having an anxious attachment style. You could easily call an anxious attachment style a insecure piece of shit. Like that's also an accurate way of describing someone. Oh, I have an anxious attachment style. That's just therapy way of saying you're an insecure piece of shit in a relationship and you need to stop it. And we get it. Saying you have an insecure attachment style is just a way of talking about it in a way that you can hear it. But the point of saying it in that way is so that you can, address it directly without being so defensive. Because if you call someone an insecure piece of shit, you're just gonna, stand on business and try to defend your insecurities.
True.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of people have taken the language of therapy into the streets and start telling other people, like, I have an insecure attachment style. What you're telling me is that you're not ready for a relationship. Right. It's like if you're standing on that, like if you say I'm in therapy in recovering from having an insecure attachment style.
Right.
Okay, now we're talking.
Right. But you're working towards it, but you're not there yet.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I can get with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're working on it and you're in therapy and you are doing your homework, whatever that is, journaling, exercising, whatever exercises your therapist gives you or that you've read in different books.
Mm-hmm.
And you are not accepting your behavior, as just a part of who you are. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Because we're all working on shit.
Yeah.
Which is part of the sort of the allure of some of these posts that people make. Now I don't get into that myself, and I try not to be that person where I how do I put it? Where I might, except where with other people, I say it like this, where I might be guilty of this is dealing with sort of there's a corner of the internet that just talks about what do people call it? When you want to be alone, the sort of I can't remember the term. Can't remember. Anyway, introversion. That's what it is. The introvert paradigm, right?
Right.
Where you are like, I am happy being alone, or people will make memes about it, and it's kind of funny. Where people will say something like, when your friend calls and cancels their plans and you're like celebrating, you're like, yes!
I didn't want to go anyway. Like, or there was a content creator. Her name is Chris, and I've seen a couple of her videos, and she has to skip the talking about, so if introverts were more introverts, but if introverts were more honest, and she goes through a whole scenarios of the one where the person texts sorry, I have to cancel, and she goes, didn't want to go anyway, so yay. They go, what? Or when she's hanging out with her friends, and they're all talking like, she's like, I'm gonna go. Wait, what do you mean you gotta go? Yeah, my social media has capped, and listening to you to the two of you go on and on is just draining my energy and making me annoyed, so I'm gonna go home. And forget this might ever happen. And they're gonna go, and then they ask, are you going to brunch with us tomorrow? She's like, no, I need at least 3 to 5 to 10 business days to even consider going back out with you guys again. I was just like, wow.
I get it, I do. And so I would say like this, where I can see the healthy aspect of that, especially in that post that you're already out and doing things, but like true social isolation is something that you could also go into online.
Yeah.
And that becomes unhealthy, right? When you haven't seen people in weeks or months, like you haven't gone at all with people. But you can find your tribe online and talk about how you love staying in,
Right.
doing nothing. It's like I'm never going out again.
No, I would never say I'm not going out ever again because that's just not me. Am
Right.
I more of a loner or a person that's quote unquote isolated? Yeah, but most part of it is not my own doing. It's just the way people have. I don't know. It's just how I deal with people. It's just how people
Mm,
have dealt with me. Like I'll ask a person. I've asked people like, "Why are we hanging out more? Is there something about me? Is there something about you? What's the issue here?"
mm.
And they're like, "Oh, there is no issue." I'm just like, "Okay, so if there's no issue, why aren't we hanging out more? Or why aren't I getting invited to go hang out with you? Or when I
Yeah.
invite you to hang out, you have a reason or excuse that you don't want to go." So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a different thing. I don't know.
yeah, I know.
Because I yeah, I don't know if I have that. If I am the opposite where I am not offering to go or do anything or how do I put it? Yeah, my social calendar is zilch because there's nothing to do. It's just like- so I mean it is all kind of thing. But I don't know, like I'm thinking of how how people set expectations in a way that may not be healthy for you personally, right?
Yeah.
Like if you is it something you really want to do, or is it something that you think you should be doing to be healthy or happy? And um, that is a question I think I ask myself a little bit. Because I'm not sure if I do I think how do I put it? I feel like I do want more social interaction, more personal, like maybe do like some of the gaming that I used to do,
Hmm.
but maybe uh something else, a different activity, um, something to get like a little face to face once a week. I can't even imagine what that would be, but I thought of things like book clubs or sports leagues, or people do bowling or gaming or whatever,
Hmm.
um, where you don't have to invite someone. It's an expectation that you show up at that time every week or every month or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And either you show up or you don't, and I don't have to wonder whether or not you want to be a part of it. Like you're a part of it or you're not.
Yeah, that's what I've come to a conclusion
Yeah,
to as well. Like, if I invite you somewhere and you don't, this is what I look at it
yeah,
as. I look at it as there's a 50-50 shot that you'll show up or you won't show up. And if you don't show up, that's fine.
yeah,
I've come to that conclusion with life and people. Like, look, if I invite you somewhere and you say, you didn't say whether you say you're going to come or not, I don't expect you to show up.
yeah.
But if you do, great. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't expect you to show up, or I don't expect this or that. I don't have an expectation, but at the same time, it kind of makes you, but it will, in some scenarios, make you feel some kind of way because you'll see people hang out with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I
same
get
person,
that.
the same person you invited to hang out with you, they'll go hang out with other people more
Right.
so than you, and you're like wondering, okay, so what's the difference between me and them? And I think it goes back to the guy with the video in your own suffering. You're like, well, what makes a person are you better than somebody when they don't want to hang out with you but
Yeah.
they'll hang out with other people.
Yeah, because I'm an imaginative person. I can
Hmm.
imagine that maybe there is a reason that is not positive that they're hanging out with these other people versus
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
Or let's internalize it to myself. Let's say that this other person that they hang out with is much more, I don't know, amenable to their jokes, more likely to praise them in person, more likely to, do small things that make them feel good that I am not really wanting to do or willing to do, whatever it may be.
Hmm.
And I'm not aware of them. And even if I were, I wouldn't do them. So let's be clear. You just enjoy hanging out with them more. That could be the case.
Right.
Probably is, right?
Hmm.
But does that have anything to do with me? Not really, right? It's
Yeah.
more about the dynamic between the two of them. Um, it could be one of those things where when they make plans, this person is much more likely to change it if things change up. They're much more flexible about when and where they meet up and what they do. Maybe they let them do whatever they want. I don't know, but like all I can do is, like I said, I think I try to set myself up to offer something, and come if you want, and if you don't, then that's okay. I will feel a certain kind of way as well because I'm human if they don't show up. So I don't want to lie about that. But I'm in that same sort of
and that's okay because we're humans. Like we're going
exactly. If we didn't have that feeling, we wouldn't be social creatures, right? That's part of what it means to want to be in community, is to feel some kind of way, negative kind of way, when people don't show up. And even without the expectation, there's still a disappointment. Like disappointment can still be there even if there was no expectation that you would show.
Right.
So anyhow, do you have any comments? I'm gonna move on to another one.
Yeah, we got Sammy. He said he says, your high is what you make it. I feel if I wasn't high most of the time, y'all think I'm a hellion now. I would be a straight demon with no conscience. I actually believe that too. The way you carry, I actually believe that. I've always had a variety of friends, but I started noticing around the start of the first Trump era how folks' speech, my white friends started changing. 2018 fell out with 2 black best friends. Damn. Sorry about that. But it was probably for the best in one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what this term holds? Yeah.
All I can say is buckle up, Buttercup. We here for a round.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh God. Yeah. All right. So I got another relationship one. Okay. This is when, like, if you've ever been obsessed over someone, yeah, like it is actually kind of a sign of a lack of self-esteem. I use that word, or self-worth, self-esteem, interchangeably, but okay, here we go.
The moment you catch yourself feeling anxious about a person, feeling like you have to hyper focus on them, ruminate about them, maybe because you have anxiousness in your attachment style, that's a sign that it's time for you to come back to yourself. The moment you feel that way shows you that you've strayed too far away from you and have instead entered the world and realm of another person. You've let go of yourself. You've abandoned yourself for someone else. That should be kind of like a tether that brings you back to yourself, to remind you that you have to root yourself in your experience. I am not an expert in attachment styles. It's just what I understand from my own experience with it. The moment you feel yourself becoming too anxious about another person, hyper-focusing, ruminating, overthinking, you've lost yourself. You've strayed too far away from you. It's exactly in that moment that you have to not take that as a challenge to win them, to bring them into your life or enter their life because then you'll feel worthy or good enough, but as a challenge to be more into you, to be more invested in yourself. Not as a way to avoid connection with people, of course not, right? We want healthy, stable, secure connection. That means having yourself there as well, bringing yourself into it, not letting yourself go, abandoning yourself, and only being invested in somebody else. So if you feel yourself with that familiar anxiousness in the pit of your stomach that you notice comes up when you feel maybe insecure in relation to someone, and you feel like if they like you or if they want you in their life, that means something positive about you, that is a sign that you have to bring yourself back to you. You have to come back to yourself and reinvest that energy that you're pouring into them back into you.
Yeah. So, going back to that whole idea of anxious attachment styles, which is kind of something that the internet has been, I don't know, just going on and on about. And at first I thought it was like neato. Like I've read about this before and people started talking about it on TikTok, but it's started to recognize like everyone has this sort of thing going on to one degree or another. And I think it really is this idea that when you are trying to win someone over, you're kind of disrespecting yourself in a way. You know, it's not that you don't have to do anything to win someone over. I think the way you win someone over is to become the best version of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's obviously you're being somewhat of a character. You're kind of being the most, but you're doing the most you. You know, like if you are genuinely, you know, like say enjoy cooking or whatever, you know, doing a date where you cook is something that you're going to cook your best meal. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to cook the things that you just normally cook on a daily basis, but it's not a fake out if you are genuinely a type of person who likes to cook, you know, and you do this sort of thing. Or you know, I'm trying to think of something for myself. Like I actually enjoy museums, you know. I don't think I really run into people who are museum people. And I can tell that whenever I've tried to do it as a date, for instance, you know, people just kind of walk around. And to me, when I go to a museum, I always like try to find an exhibit or a piece of art or something that I can just like kind of sit with for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the beauty of it, is that there's the world going around you, but you kind of just, you know, you're in the presence of it, because otherwise you could just look at it on your phone.
Right.
But at a museum, you're like in the presence of it, like you feel it in a way that you don't. And I would share that with people, you know, like someone that I was into. And if they're not into that, I'm not gonna like not pretend that's something I, you know, care about it. And that's what I get at what she's kind of getting at about, you know, being too concerned about what the other person's into means that you are abandoning your own desires and wants and everything. Inviting people in, showing them what it is you like. You know, you're gonna be hurt if people don't like what you got. That's understandable. Because that's I don't know, the price of caring, you know? Like it's like the price of caring about what you care about means that you're gonna be hurt once in a while. And and just sort of not pretending like that hurt doesn't exist, but just like accepting it and like, yeah, you know, I still care. Yeah, you know. Um and so just kind of moving on with that. And I don't know. I think that there's I don't know. I think there is this thing online where um there is both the idea of wanting to be vulnerable and share about the things that we like or whatever, find community that's sort of virtual, but then also pretend like it doesn't matter when people don't like it or become hyper defensive about their own point of view or whatever, like we were talking about with fandoms and so forth. We don't have to be hyper defensive, you know. And I said that about Beyonce, whatever.
Yeah.
Beyonce doesn't need defending.
No, she doesn't.
No. And if you're defending Beyonce, that means you're not defending her, you're defending you.
You right.
And you know, that's another issue. Like
right, that is another issue. And that's something that I and I guess in a dark, I'm gonna say dark, but maybe in a twisted way, I do poke fun at people for their face because I want them to realize that you are defending yourself and you're doing all this outrage online. I want people to look at themselves like maybe I'm being stupid or not stupid, but maybe I'm acting like a fool. And I'm like, yeah, you are, because you're not defending your fave who somebody said something about. You're defending you. And you're acting, but you're masking it as, oh, I'm defending my favorite celebrity or whatever. And I'm like, no, you're really defending yourself.
Yeah. That's the thing though. It's like it would definitely backfire. Like that was never where as far as I understand.
I've noticed that.
Because that's how people get even more entrenched.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there is no I don't know
Well,
of solution either. So like I'm saying
yeah,
that doesn't work, but I honestly don't know of anything that does work. So
no, not when people are that
yeah,
obsessed or at that level of where people are. And I'm like, no, it's not going to work.
yeah,
That people are not going to realize that you're really just defending yourself, but it's like masking it to you feel like you're defending your fave or your celeb or whatever, but you're really defending yourself. And then on top of that, you defending that person does not make you a superhero. It does not give you extra experience points in this RPG game we call life. It does not. Okay.
oh
It
god,
unlock a special item for you.
yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think that is something to consider. I like I said, going back to attachment styles.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, deal with the insecurities. I don't know, because yeah, when anyone attacks your insecurities, you defending them even more makes them worse, and it's pretty uh annoying. I guess it's annoying. I mean, I don't know. Getting around with other people who have the same insecurities doesn't really help. But I do have one more, and then we'll go to Patreon. Let's see. Do we have any other comments before we go?
Yeah, we got one more from
Okay.
Sammy that says, so now I just say, fuck people, do me. In this mindset for myself for the first time in my life, I'm feeling lonely, but scared to find new friends. I never had a problem being alone until now. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
eventually at some point you are going to because no, like I say, no man is an island. So
Yeah.
eventually at some point you are going to feel those emotions of being lonely and feeling like you have no friends because you're too scared. You can't let your fear control you to where you don't want to find friends. My thing is, I always tell people, just know your red flags. Just know what to look out for you as the person you are. If you
Exactly.
can actually be friends with this person or not. That's what I
And
say.
honestly, looking at loneliness could be a positive signal, right? So you know how when you're sometimes in pain, you just go numb, you know?
Yeah.
And loneliness is a kind of emotional pain that is meaning that you're looking for connection with other people. It could mean that you're looking for deeper connections with people.
hmm
And loneliness is a way of just signaling to you that's something that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so that could be a good thing. Ultimately, it's saying like showing you the direction to find it. Now, obviously, the actual mechanisms for assuaging it means I think genuine connection, and obviously to have genuine connection means understanding yourself on a deeper level.
hmm
Um, like he was saying, that I'm going to check out that book. It says it begins with you.
Yeah.
Literally, any
Well,
connection with anyone else begins with you.
it does, and a lot of
Yeah,
things begin with us. And sometimes people don't. I always try to tell people, you do realize you're the problem, not everybody else.
yeah,
I've said that to somebody one time, and they were like, "What do you mean I'm the problem?" And I kind of gave them a guide for them to go deeper into realizing that they were the problem. And then one person I actually had to read for Phil and say, "Yeah, about this is the problem." Like, okay, this. They were like, "Well," and then at the end of it, they were annoyed. I could tell, but at the same time, they were like, "Okay, you have a point."
oh god. All right. So I have this one. I think we have done this topic in the past, but
hmm
I had picked this. You can tell from this. It was a few weeks ago because he's wearing a Santa hat. so uh, he was talking about dating out of your league. We've talked about this before,
Yeah.
where there was this man on the street episode of something on TikTok
hmm
where this woman, I don't even know if it was one, but this interviewer was asking men, would you date someone out of your league or under your league? Which would you prefer? Everyone's like, out of my league. I want her to be super hot. Like this is a thing that guys will say.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that sentiment. I mean, it seems like a good thing to date someone out of your league. And this person's just giving a rundown as to why this is probably a bad idea. I'm going to play it.
Scientists studying human mating behavior. Here are 2 database costs of dating out of your league, plus 1 tentative recommendation. First, dating someone out of your league is really fun until someone in their league wants them. Multiple data sets indicate that being less attractive is a risk factor for being cheated on. If you aren't in their league, they're more likely to cheat on you. Second, the best model we have for relationship dissatisfaction suggests that it functions as the I can do better alarm bell. Studies by Conroy Beam concluded that relationship dissatisfaction isn't so much about unmet mate preferences, but mate value imbalances and the availability of alternatives. If you choose someone more desirable than you, who has better options, they're going to be harder to satisfy. I talk a lot about the data-backed benefits of being hot. Here's a data-backed cost. Some research suggests that hot people are just in general less satisfied in committed relationships. It's harder to be content in your choice of meal when everything's on the menu. So is dating out of your league worth it? Well, I kind of follow the lead of Dr. David Buss here in thinking that the best case scenario is being blissfully wrong. That is, dating someone you think is out of your league but isn't, or dating someone who is out of your league but doesn't realize it. That way you both are statistically likely to have high satisfaction and high commitment.
So that was the caveat, which is it's not about whether or not you're dating someone out of your league. It's dating someone out of your league and they know it. if they are genuinely feel like they are dating beneath themselves, by dating you, like that's definitely a red flag. You should probably not be doing that. And if you're dating someone who you genuinely feel is out of your league, like this person, is, I think we had a topic about this Saturday on Greg's show where somebody emailed him or whatever that he was pining over someone for months, years maybe, and they finally dated them and it was just awful.
Right.
Just
okay, so it's the same thing when it also happens with sex. Like a person has been waiting to hook up with you for a long time, and you finally be like, okay, all right, let's see what's going on. You finally do, and it's just like, oh, this is what they. After all this time, this is what they gave. Okay. I could have had a VA.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. No. Jeez. Yeah, but it happens. Like you've been wanting this person for this long of a time, and then you finally get them, and it's like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I was not that much time pining over them, and this is what they are. Oh.
Yeah. But it is true. And so I think you have to think in terms of compatibility. When you're meeting someone could definitely be hot, but like if they have a certain amount of, how do I put it, humility about it, and they don't actually necessarily have negative self opinion about their attractiveness, but that they don't believe it to be a self-defining feature of their personality, that they're the hot guy.
Right.
Because I know some people who do that even though they're not hot. They're a hot guy. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just part of their personality. Like
their level, their confidence level is delusional.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I think you have to take people at that delusion and say, like, okay, he thinks he's a 9, I think he's a 5, but
right,
I'm going to treat him like he's a 9 because he believes he's a 9. That's kind of where I'm getting from this idea where, if he believes he's a 9, he believes that he has more options than he really has, and which means he's going to be less satisfied in any particular relationship that he's in just because of his mindset. Like I could have anybody.
Okay, like you know what? It's funny because I have met someone like that here in Atlanta, and this was an Asian guy, and he's like, you know what? I'm so bad. I'm so this and that. If I walk up in Bulldogs, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 black guys in there that just gonna want me. I'm just like, I was just like,
Oh god, was he like
oh.
the honeypot? Literally, like you just like.
I was just like, and for me, it turned me off because I was just like, sir, you're cute, but
Yeah.
but I mean, confidence was definitely out there. I was just like, oh, okay. Well, if you feel, I'm not knocking nobody's confidence at all. I am not. Feel confident,
Yeah.
but I also want you to have a dose of reality too.
Yeah.
That not every person's going to want you.
Yeah. This is true. Yeah. Yeah. So on that point, I'm gonna move on to Patreon. I want to let people know that I have not come out with a M3 Bearcast. I'm thinking about moving it to Friday, so I will let you guys know. It's been 2 weeks now that I haven't done it. So I'm thinking about moving this to Friday, but tomorrow, stay tuned for the swag suite.
Yeah, as we go back into those unbanned TikTok streets.
You know, my CapCut is still not working. I'm pissed as fuck about that shit.
That it was only banned for what, a day? Was it a day or was it? I think it was like
12 hours or
12
something.
hours. There we go. Like
my CapCut is still not working on my Mac. Like I go to open it because that's what I use to edit our videos. And I put them into the recording section, and it's not working. Son of a bitch. But anyway, yeah, check out Swag. I'll be back Wednesday. I believe Cream's gonna have a show Saturday. Greg on Saturday. I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah, you said Cream was on Thursday.
Cream's on Thursday. Greg's on Saturday. And the Blurred Cast is on Sunday. John, you can follow him on the Double J Chronicles on Instagram. And I am on TikTok trying to get my TikTok feedback. Hold up.
I'm gonna go grab my food.
Okay, yeah. And we're gonna go to Patreon. While you go grab your food, I'm gonna play the outro trailer, and we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. Peace. All right, back. What did I have on here?
Okay.
I was so down. I was gonna play just funny videos, but I can't make my video things without fucking CapCut because I got lazy. I guess it's the best way to put it because I got used to it being so easy to upload my videos and stuff, you know, to edit them and make compilations. Yeah.
Someone's telling me my camera's unplugged. Really?
So I have a few funny videos. I need to make sure I don't show the wrong videos, but here we go. This one I was gonna play. Which I'm not sure if this would make a topic because it's just I think someone being a weirdo, but here let me play it.
Yo, being pretty and gay is crazy because there's dudes out there that literally believe that just because you're pretty that you're supposed to bottom for them. And let me tell you something, sweetheart. Just because you rough around the edges and I'm more of a closer spitting image of God to God does not mean that I'm about to bend over for you. If anybody gonna be doing the bending, it's you. Because you more unfortunate. But it's okay, baby. Like, I got some good ding, so don't play with me.
What? Are we? Is what?
I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
I hope that's just satire and not like how
I
he
think it
really
is. I think it
Yeah.
is, but regardless, it was kind of like it's not really a topic. It's just like what the
Right.
fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be true. It could be being a little over the top. Just to get attention. Okay, here's the one. I'm just gonna laugh at. Someone had a thing.
His black ass. Or you even registered to vote. He smelled very low vibrational. Look at him, scrubbing the ground. He won't be good for my mental nor my credit score. Give me 20, 25 minutes.
Not 20, 25 minutes though.
It's horrible. I know. What else did I have? Making myself feel better with memes. Let's see. I have too many videos in this file, and some of them are not suitable to air. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So gotta be careful. Okay, this one's just I love my animal videos. I'm just curious as to
what is happening right now.
Exactly. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it's behind us. Look at all these fuck. Look at that behemoth. Oh my god.
This is literally like a bear run. Like it's just Devon's a bear. It's just like chilling.
Dude,
Wow.
He's running. He is. Look at him. That looks scary. Look at that ugly ass.
Wow.
You wouldn't be talking shit about these bears until they fucking eat your face, but okay.
Yeah, or till you get mauled. But I saw one video earlier. It was like a bunch of panic animal encounters, and the one woman got out of her car and went over to a wild grizzly bear. It was like, hey, and had her hand out to my son. Can I? I'm like, man, what are you doing? That is a bear, a wild animal. Like, what are you? Like you have no survival instinct at all.
Yeah.
Survival awareness has left the building.
Exactly. This was a cute one. It's a cat and a deer. Let's see, this cat was just like trying to chill out with the deer. Like, because it nearly kicked the shit out of that cat.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He does this little thing where he like
Aw.
and he sits down, let him know he's safe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Fuck it out of here." Oh god, I don't know. I just found that fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at random videos. As long as that's But what else is coming up? You were talking about some things coming up and TV wise. You said I know Invincible and Captain America. I guess Daredevil's coming out.
Oh yeah. Daredevil's coming out too.
Do you think I should watch Echo? I haven't seen Echo.
I wouldn't say that you need to, but I would say it would help.
Okay, yeah.
Even though Daredevil only shows up. Well, yeah, you should watch Echo. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 6 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, here is a. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Фильмов про войну или про первый полет на Луну или про жизнь одиноких сердец. У каждого фильма свой конец. Никого не жалко, никого, ни тебя, ни меня, ни его. Никого не жалко, никого.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to play with you no more. Like, you're too big. Like, I was like, you about to bite my head off. Holy shit.
No.
Dude,
I mean, he could, but he's not going to.
No, he's not. Let's see. That one was cute.
Sammy said, no, he didn't degrade him and then started celebrating over him. Just pick one.
Oh, yeah. He's like,
yeah. He said that must have been a white woman thought she was going to save the world with whiteness.
Oh, no.
And then he says, Spider-Man freshman year starts this week. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going. It is a lot of Marvel stuff, especially coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a year ahead of them.
Yeah. But so if this people will get no more than maybe 1 or 2 shows or movies a year. So
yeah.
I'm guessing Captain America would be 1 movie, and then Fantastic Four would be another movie for the year. And then we get Daredevil Born Again, but we also get Spider-Man freshman year. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
They don't want to give us superhero fatigue anymore.
Right. Don't they also have the was it Iron Wars or whatever, the Iron Man?
Armor Wars. I don't even know. Wars? I'm not completely clear on if that's going to still be a thing. Like, I know they didn't cancel it. They turned it into a movie or a series at this point.
I mean, I saw it advertised when I was watching Agatha. I mean, so
yeah,
they did advertise it.
Yeah, it's still going to happen. I'm just not sure. I think it's supposed to be a movie now or a series.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. But let's see if I got any more of these. Well, you eat. I can hear you eating right there. Your camera's still not working.
It is. You can't see me?
No, I can't see you.
Oh, wow. Hold on. Can anybody see me?
I don't know.
Oh, nope, nobody can. Oh, wow. Okay. I can see me. Which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, here's a crazy ass video.
Stay on. I will go to jail today. I promise you. Keep screaming. Yes, stay on. Stay the fuck on. Yes, hold on tight. I hope you are. Hold on. No. Should have got the fuck off my shit when I said so. Fuck is you talking about?
What the hell?
She's driving with the dude on her hood.
I know. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this? No. Hold on. You should have got off when I told you to. Like, see, no. See, you got to be careful who you fuck with, honestly.
Yeah, that bitch just drove off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Okay. I'm trying to see.
Oh, but no, but we here smacking. Sorry.
How about this one? This one's kind of funny.
Kick, push, coast. And the way he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick, push, coast. So come and skate with me.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah, it is. Knife kicks. Like what? Throwing a knife with your foot. Like that's pretty hot. Yeah. Let me see. This one's kind of silly.
What the?
Are you guys seriously 69ing right now?
Wow.
I thought you guys were snuggling. Are you guys shitting me?
Oh god. Why are you breaking it up? Like they had looked like they were happy.
Right. They were minding their own business. And here you talk.
Shaming them.
just shaming them for no reason.
Oh god. That's too funny. Yeah, I hope I get my what you call it, my cap cut back.
What is it? Is it the app itself or?
It's just like TikTok was down. Yeah.
Oh,
CapCut was down for the same reason. And it's not back up for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay, this one is like, I think I would use this as a meme of like when you're truly climbing the walls, like what do you call it, cabin fever.
Yo,
like
Percocet, yeah. Miley Percocet, Percocet, yeah.
Jumping off the wall.
Literally.
Gotta represent.
Bouncing off the walls, literally.
Literally bouncing off the walls. Oh god. Okay, let's see. Now I did have a topic. I'll do this one last one.
Sammy says no more coffee for him. He also says she's just jealous because no one would go 69 her.
You know what I think about it? I haven't done. Oh, it sounds awful. I feel like 69 looked better than it really is. Is that a thing? I don't know for myself. Like I feel like that's a porn invented thing.
I don't
know.
It had to come from somewhere, so maybe I won't say porn was the first one.
No. I get that. No, I'm just saying popularized. I'm just saying
right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it just way more disappointing in real life. It's like this is not. I don't know. For me, I don't call anyone else out. But let me see. Oh yeah, this one's kind of funny. Giant cat. This kind of special effects you can do on your own phone. I've been trying to get more into AI, but it's hard to find really good information about, AI tools to help you, generate images or video. It's a lot of hype. But some of it is legit, some of it's not. I think a lot of it's just trying to get clicks.
Yeah, it's just clickbait.
Yeah.
Now you can tell this is AI generated. Yeah, you can. Especially
Yeah.
some of these Marvel news. I'm like, y'all do know this is fake, right? Y'all do know this is an AI image that Marvel would never ever use. So
Right.
why are you listening to this?
Right. Okay, this one is really messed up, but I'm gonna play it. Let's see.
Huh. This is what with Oh wow.
This kicks like a mule with his balls wrapped in duct tape.
What?
Tight, yeah. Blue, yellow, pink. Whatever, man. Just keep bringing me that. I don't even know who you are. Damn, man. Look at that. Look. I knew it. Nobody moves crystal in the South Valley but me, bitch.
A mix of Breaking Bad and
Yeah.
Game. Oh god, that's fucked up. But yeah, you can fucking do that with fucking
Oh yeah.
some of these tools. It's like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that one I feel like was not AI. That someone actually did. Probably AI assisted, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. He said, Sam said, Dennis didn't want nothing. And he says, it does especially about 69 when your heights don't match. I'm not a fan of it. I would watch you pleasure you and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Heights can be an issue, you know.
Yeah. I'm usually not fucking around with 6'4" motherfuckers. So.
Is there even you know what? So I was going to question: is there even a bed big enough for tall people? Like if you 6'4" and they 6'9",
yeah,
or 60.
Yeah, they do. There's a king size variant that's like pretty wide,
Mm-hmm.
and you can sleep on it diagonally.
Okay. Well, you know what? I do want one of those big beds, like I've seen, like that one celebrity have. He has like this big ass bed that people call him zesty for having a big bed, and the way he has like cameras on the ceiling. I'm just like, y'all call it anything zesty that doesn't fit y'all's narrative. But anyway, but I do like one day want one of those big ass beds that I just like kind of build a small fort on.
Yeah.
I can just be sitting there in the bed with my snacks on one side. And look, I am not getting up but to pee today. I am here.
I feel you.
I got snacks over here, got the game here. I got, everything's in its place on the bed or beside the bed. I'm good. I don't have no reason to get up.
So I think here it is. I want to find this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna put this in the thing at the end for Wednesday if it's working. But one more funny video. Did it download? Let me try it again. It's pretty annoying when it downloaded but didn't go in order. And I have in a download rich folder.
Mm-hmm.
So now scrolling through to try to find it. God, I wish I could watch Castlevania for the first time again. That makes sense. I'm looking at some of these.
Yeah, there are some shows that you wish you could watch for the first time again.
Yeah, because it was just so amazing. I mean, I'm gonna probably watch it again, but okay, here we go. too cute. But tigers play with balls.
Big old balls. Yeah. I mean, they're still
that's just,
people have to realize that they're tigers, but they're still cats.
they're still
Like
cats.
all cats, whether they're wild cats or house cats, have the same playful demeanor and distractions. Like if you throw a ball or a ball of yarn or something dingles, they go play with it. They
Yeah.
how you know.
Not only that, like they will actually use a litter box too.
Yeah.
A giant litter box. They will use it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, it's so cute. But then it, it's still a tiger. Like, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna end it there. I usually try to do 30 minutes. I didn't have enough videos because I got to work on getting all my videos ready for Wednesday. I'm gonna do some more searching because yeah. So join us on Wednesday, and of course, I said I'm gonna try to have my video. I'm gonna try to change to Friday, so I'll have new topics for both coming out. But anyway, I guess we'll end it there. Catch you later.
All right.
Peace.